In this video, I'm going to show you how to draw the Ultimate Dorm Room, Module 8. I've already created all of my layers, so be sure to create these before you start drawing the floor plan. And I have already gone in and set up my units, but I'm just going to review some of the things that you have to do at the beginning of this lesson. Your units is located under the application icon. Go to Drawing Utilities, Units. You want to set this up for architectural units and set your precision to the nearest quarter of an inch. And then you also want to set up your snap. I'm going to right click on snap and go to settings. In this lesson we're going to start using polar snap. So I want you to set polar snap to 1 inch. By setting polar snap on, you'll deactivate the grid snap. We are now going to use whole inches as we're measuring. So make those few adjustments and then you're ready to begin your drawing the walls. We're going to start by making the A wall layer current, and you're going to start your line tool and we're going to draw the outline of the building. I'm just going to zoom in, pick a starting point, and the bottom of the wall is 25 feet, so we're going to draw that. So let's type in 25 feet. You have to use the foot mark, so AutoCAD will register feet. We'll go up 3 feet, and then here we have a bay window where we have to draw this using relative coordinates. So I'm going to type in the at 1 foot 6, comma 1 foot 6. That tells AutoCAD to go to the right 1 foot 6 and up 1 foot 6. Okay, the edge of the bay window is 4 feet. And then we have to go back to the left, so I'm going to use relative coordinates again. At negative 1 foot 6, comma 1 foot 6. That tells AutoCAD to go to the left 1 foot 6 and up 1 foot 6. And then we can follow around the building. This is 11 feet. Now you can use your polar tracking and measure out 11 feet, or you could type in 11 feet and it works the same way. Okay, this is 15.6. And you'll notice how I have only whole units like 15.5, 15.6. That's because I set up the polar snap to 1 inch. So we'll do 15.6. And if you can't get the number exactly, you can type it in. 2 feet. And then we have 9 feet 6 for the kitchen wall. So I'll type in 9 feet 6. And then this should close off at the bottom. So I'll do a close. And you now have your outline of your building. Be sure to draw this as a polyline. If you didn't draw this as a polyline, then you can join them all together using the join tool. So I'll select join, select everything and hit enter, and it says 10 objects converted to 1 polyline. So this is now a single object, and the reason you want it to be a polyline is we're going to offset the walls. So our next step is to create the exterior walls and the brick. So I'm going to use my offset tool, offset the wall 6 inches towards the inside, and then I'm going to repeat the command and offset the outside line 4 inches to the outside. The outer wall is the brick veneer, so we need to select that object and move it to the A-EXTR layer, the exterior layer. So now you have your outside wall, 2x6 wall, along with your outline for your brick veneer. The next step is to explode these back into their individual components, such as lines and arcs. So we'll use the explode command and we'll explode these 3 objects. Now they are individual objects that we can trim, extend, and stretch individually. Okay. The next step is to extend this wall, these two wall lines down to the bottom. So we'll go to Extend, pick the wall line, hit Enter, and then extend these down. This intersection will need to be cleaned up, but we can do that as we add some more walls. The next step would be to add the walls for the bathroom. So according to my original drawing, I've got a wall that's 5 feet 9 inches from this outside wall. So we'll do Offset, type in 5 feet 9, and I'm going to offset this line up. That is the center line for the wall. The walls are 6 inches thick, so I need to offset that line 3 inches to each side. So I'll offset it 3 inches above, 3 inches below. That center line we're going to keep, but it needs to be moved to a layer called A-Wall Non-Plot, NPLT. This is a non-plottable layer, so these objects won't appear on our original drawing, but they are used later for dimensioning. The next step is to locate the wall between the bathroom and the kitchen, or I'm sorry, the bathroom and the kitchen, and according to our drawings it's 2 feet above this wall. So use your copy command and copy these two walls, this wall up 2 feet. So we're going to copy that up 2 feet. And then we're going to do a little trimming just to make it easier to see everything. So we're going to trim those out for now. There's a little more cleanup that we have to do, but we'll do that later. The next step is to add the walls for our walk-in closets. We have to copy this, or offset this outside line down 5 feet. So we'll do Offset 5 feet. Remember to use the foot mark. We'll offset it down. That is the center line, so we'll offset again 3 inches to each side. Take that center line and move it to layer A-Wall Non-Plot, and we have that. Now there is a wall in between the two closets that's 8 feet from the right edge, so we'll use Offset again. So we'll set our distance to 8 feet. Offset that line 8 feet over. That's the center line. You can offset that 3 inches to each side. And then you have that center line that is going to be placed on layer A-Wall Non-Plot. So we'll get that switched over. Okay, I'm going to do a little trimming just to clean this up a little. Okay. Now each of these intersections will need to be cleaned up. So I'm going to start the trim command again, hit Enter to select all edges, and then I'm just going to go through here panning and zooming and cleaning out these intersections. You can use individual mouse clicks, or you can do crossing window if you have more than one. So I could do a crossing through those and trim those out. This particular floor plan isn't very complicated. There's not a lot of walls, but you would do the same process if you had a lot more walls, like an entire house. Okay, so I'm going to trim these out and trim this one out. I'm not trimming this one because I know this wall has to be shortened, and according to our drawing the distance is 3 feet 2 inches. So I'm going to use Offset again, set my distance to 3 feet 2, offset the outside wall line 3 feet 2 to the inside, and then I can trim those up. So we can trim that up to look something like this. So that represents your linen closet. Okay. And we do need to trim these lines out. Okay. Double check everything, make sure we have everything trimmed. That didn't work, so I'll need to undo that and run the trim command again. There we go. All the corners looks good. So that's basically how you would draw your interior and exterior walls. Almost everything we did today we used offset. We're going to go in and add the doors and window openings, the cabinet, same process. We're going to use offset for almost everything.